Hi everyone, we're back. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties, so we are starting a part two.
So now part two just carries on where we left off. We were talking about
Dr.
Dr.
Pompey.
F. Joseph Pompey. He was instrumental in perfecting the technology of sending audio in a direct beam fashion so that one person could hear it and the other person couldn't hear it. So what do you think about that, Carolyn?
I don't really understand why someone would do that except just to harass people or experiment and see what effects it has on people, which I think it's obvious it would drive people crazy and want to know where it's coming from and how it's being done.
Now that was we were distinguishing between that one and the V2K or the voice to skull, in that you typically with the voice to skull you only one person hears it, and there's definitely some person trying to intentionally cause you mental anguish and harm you by making you feel like you're not in control of your own thoughts.
And it's right in your head, and you can't figure out how to get it out. That's
right. So there's a number of technologies that are that we're going to cover here and that we are covering. Now, targeted individuals. Let's make sure that we cover those people as well. Can you tell the people anything about targeted individuals?
Well, it's a real thing. We are getting lots of calls from targeted individuals, and they're claiming they are being targeted, and they don't know why.
Now, before I forget, though, you brought up something very important in that a lot of times people are talking about implants. Now, you guys, when it comes to implants, we want to say that we think this is very serious and needs to be taken very seriously. Mainly because targeted individuals who are talking about implants, we actually wrote articles on this, and there's actually an individual who, a surgeon, who was actually responsible for being one of the main people who was removing chips or implants, as they're known, from people. His name is Dr. Roger Lear, and Dr. Roger Lear has since passed away, but he was instrumental in removing chips from patients, and that's again Dr. Roger Lear is Leir.
And also there is a human rights organization called FFCHS, which is Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance. And that's human rights organization tries to promote the care and well-being of victims and stalking crimes who have few resources and avenues for a safe environment.
Now, the Freedom from Covert, what is it?
Harassment and Surveillance, FFCHS.
Yeah, right. The FFCHS, they may have been disbanded. So
yeah, they may not be in existence anymore, unfortunately.
Right. We've been getting a lot of calls from you guys stating that you clicked on the links from our website leading to their website, you called their numbers, etc., and haven't gotten anywhere. So if you contact them and find out that you can't reach them for whatever reason, give us a call. We're aligning ourselves with more and more organizations all the time to see if we can refer you guys to some other organizations. But getting back over to Dr. Roger Lear, before we move on, we just want to say that one of the samples that he retrieved from an individual had some, and we have a chart on our website, isotopic abundances of elements detected in implant samples. Basically what it amounts to is some very, very high-tech and sophisticated biomaterials that were taken from an individual, John Smith, And they examined this in various government laboratories, some of our more prestigious laboratories, and they found out that the implants had technologies integrated into them that we have yet to figure out how. So some advanced civilizations has perfected something that would take us probably 100 million years to perfect. So we're still getting a handle on those biomaterials. And take a look at that isotopic chart. Read about the institutions that have examined it, and read for yourself.
You can get more information from there. We can't go over every single thing. We'll be here for hours.
Right.
So the biggest hurdle for targeted individuals is getting people to take their concerns seriously. And there's not many people that would do that. There's certain doctors, pain control doctors that might be able to help you. It's also called psychotropic weapons or mind control technology that they're using, and it's very sophisticated. And yeah, let me see.
So while Carolyn takes a look at that, let's see, we want to talk about the Schumann Resonance a little bit, because the Schumann Resonance is mentioned alongside of a lot of our products. And when you go to personal health protection products, personal health protection is a particular category on our website. When you go there, you guys, you're going to see certain things that we are recommending as solutions to help you guys. We have a line of products, for instance, labeled
portable electromagnetic field tuner.
Right.
There's a spectrum analyzer.
The desktop electromagnetic field tuner. The USB powered version of the same product. The desktop electromagnetic field tuner, USB powered.
There's body worn items like scarves, eye patches, tents, sleeping bags that are lined with silver.
Right, now these are clothing items, okay?
Yeah.
Take a look at the electromagnetic radiation reducing eye cover, the headband,
There's a rain shield.
Rain shield.
A scarf that goes around your head and around your neck. There's a baseball cap and a lady's hat.
And ladies' hat. And then we have a, for those of you who want to put your own electronic devices in something where you won't have to worry about so much radiation coming from your own devices, we have a mobile block pouch, something we call a mobile block pouch. It blocks cell phone, RFID, GPS tracker signals, etc., etc. So that's going to help rid your immediate environment, or at least from overexposure from your own devices. And then this is a pretty far out product. There's a pyramid. Do you know anything about the electromagnetic radiation reducing pyramid?
It's made of
Well, regardless of what it's made of, that's a trademarked proprietary material. But the bottom line, you guys, is we have a small pyramid-shaped gemstone.
and it helps eliminate
The electromagnetic radiation coming from your laptop, your desktop, your monitor, wireless router.
Put it near your routers, your computer, etc., etc.
Now, Nicholas Tesla, who did the major groundbreaking research in this particular area, he has a famous quote. He said, if you could eliminate certain outside frequencies that interfered in our bodies, we would have greater resistance toward diseases.
Oh, that makes sense.
Wow. And he said, I think this is part of this. Okay, so, and also beyond a doubt, certain frequencies can prevent the development of disease, and other frequencies will destroy diseases. Substances of higher frequency will destroy diseases of lower frequency. So basically what he's saying is the higher frequencies typically are typical of higher life forms, and the lower frequencies are associated with lower life forms like bacteria and certain things that are more primitive. So in our living environments, in our offices, in our cars, we want to generate the good higher frequencies, and that's where we get to the subject matter of the Schumann Resonance. Now in 1952, what happened in 1952 as far as what you know, your research? I think it was 1952, right?
I don't know.
Let me take a look.
I know the Earth's natural frequency is called the Schumann Resonance. And
Exactly,
a
yeah.
7.83 frequency, or is it 78.3?
No, you're
Sorry.
right, 7.83.
Oh, okay. 7.83 frequency, and that's what the animals use to help guide them through the ocean, where
Right.
they usually mate, where the warmest waters are, where the coldest water are, where the most food is.
Right. Now this is a German scientist, W.O. Schumann, discovered a natural pulse resonating around the planet, beating at a frequency of 7.83 hertz, thereafter called the Schumann Resonance. Research has proved that electromagnetic pollution can inhibit the body's ability to synchronize with the Earth's natural magnetic pulse, thereby throttling melatonin. Melatonin is an essential regulator of our sleep cycles. And when we're bombarded with the cell phones and the cell towers and the microwave and the smart meters and all those things, that's why we can't sleep. We're restless, we're agitated and aggravated.
And speaking of that, when you are electronically harassed, etc., your dopamine levels increase, and that makes you seem schizophrenic.
Exactly.
So if you have more dopamine, you seem more hyper, schizophrenic. It's gonna make doctors say, "Oh yeah, okay."
But they don't have a lot of education in this area, so a lot of times they can tell you about symptoms, but they can't tell you about the cause.
Yeah.
And what we're looking at is put a lot of emphasis on the causes, okay? So again, when we're out of sync with the 7.83 Schumann Resonance, that's where we see major increase in individuals with high dopamine levels. And so getting back to this, the melatonin and how essential that is, make sure you guys understand that if you need increased melatonin, maybe that's what you need to get. Because melatonin is a major cancer suppressant and cell rejuvenating neural hormone produced in the brain.
Yeah, it's been proven to help you sleep at night. If you take it within 20 minutes of going to sleep, not an hour, not 2 hours, within 20 minutes of going to sleep.
Now, since life began, the Earth has been surrounding all living things with this natural frequency pulsation. It's a pulsating frequency like a heartbeat. The planet actually has a heartbeat, and it's 7.83, and we are living in and around this natural heartbeat. And when we get away from it or out of sync, that's where we start to experience a lot of these issues. And many experts believe that the whole spectrum of artificial man-made EMF radiation masks the natural beneficial frequency of the Earth.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So, now, is there anything else that we can add that just in case I'm leaving anything out?
Let's see. I know San Antonio, Texas has been used to experiment with electronic harassment because they have NSA facilities, and they have, it's just more convenient for them to do it within their local location where they have all of their experimentation items that they can use. That's one. And also the UK, China, Japan has also been recorded more electronic harassment. Let me see what other cities. Let me see. Also, ultrasound and laser can be used, and they can leave marks. Muscle twitching, burn marks. let me see. Oh, here we go. Websites dedicated to electronic harassment and gang stalking have popped up in India, China, Japan, South Korea, UK, Russia, and elsewhere. Yep, so it's spreading, unfortunately.
Now, the technology and the techniques vary greatly. We got gang stalking is a term you want to be familiar with. Gang stalking implies that groups of individuals are now going to be following you around. You're going to find at one point it's going to be this person, and then that person will drop off, and then another person will take off where that person left, and they'll be following you around. And V2K, again, voice to skull, and directed energy weapons is a term that you want to familiarize yourself with. And see, a lot of this information actually comes from DARPA's website. The MK Ultra program was a government-sponsored program with private industry. And so if you go to DARPA's website, you're going to see Project Pandora. You're going to see references to synthetic telepathy. You're going to see, what else?
Also, funneling microwaves to hit someone is also government, called government terrorism. So, it's also called satellite terrorism. And victims have begun to host their own support meetings in major cities, including Washington. So victims can get together, start their own groups and meetings, and support each other and see what they can do. And we're also to help with the microwave detectors, bug detectors, personal protection. So
Right.
we're one of the security companies that can help you.
Right. We pioneered the idea of helping out you guys in these areas, and we welcome Bill. We have a lot of viewers joining us from Facebook and some other places. We just want to welcome them whenever they pop in. But just to give you an idea of how credible this is, there's an individual, her name was Gloria Naylor, or is Gloria Naylor, Naylor. She's a renowned African-American writer, seems to define many of the stereotypes of someone who believes in mind control. She's a winner of the National Book Award. Naylor is best known for her acclaimed novel, The Women of Brewster Place, which described a group of women living in a poor urban neighborhood who was later made into a man. In 2005, she published a lesser-known work called 1996. It's a semi-autobiographical book describing her experience as a TI, or target individual. She says, "I didn't want to tell this story. It's going to take courage, perhaps more courage than I possess, but they've left me no alternatives." And Naylor writes at the beginning of her book, I am in a battle for my mind. Okay, so she's a well-known publicist, recognized by Oprah Winfrey, sold tons and tons of books. So people like this, like Gloria, and there's an individual by, I think his name is Gerald Gerard. When you go to our website and you look up electronic harassment and such, you're going to see that we're starting off with an individual by the name of Gerald Gerard. And he's one of the few people that actually thought that we should take this to Capitol Hill. And Gerald was very instrumental in taking this case all the way to Washington, D.C., to make certain senators and different people aware that there is indeed a problem. Okay, so when you go to our article on targeted individuals, read about Gloria Naylor, read about Harlan Gerard. I'm sorry, I always say Gerald for some reason, but it's Harlan, Harlan, Harlan Gerard. Okay, I think he led the basically a march on Washington where targeted individuals and such got a chance to speak in front of Congress and have someone actually give them their ear to see if whether or not there's anything that could be done.
Well, it seems like statistics show that single people and divorced people, first, single people are the easiest targets to isolate because they don't have many friends and family. So they go after the easiest targets first and try and drive them crazy. And what else? Oh, we have an item called the Spread Spectrum Analyzer under Personal Protection. And on that, it's pretty cool. It has a print feature. You can record, save, and print your evidence for electronic harassment cases. And that means you can see what frequencies are present and the strength of each signal. So go check out that item. That's a pretty cool item. That's like, helps your evidence case.
Now, before we forget, there's a new category of people, victims. If that weren't enough, there's a group of people called hypersensitive. Under electrical hypersensitivity, there's a number of people, and Dr. Andrew Well, MD, talks about electromagnetic or EMF pollution may be the most significant form of pollution human activity has produced in this century. All the more dangerous because it's invisible and insensible, meaning it can't be sensed. Andrew Will is basically talking about the idea that, again, the cell phone towers, the microwave dishes, the Wi-Fi signals and such, is creating a type of electronic pollution, and a lot of individuals are becoming very, very sensitive to it, and they're literally going to far-flung places called quiet zones, where they basically can go to a place in West Virginia, for instance, and live there and escape all of the electromagnetic radiation. So this is called a quiet zone. So you may want to familiarize yourself with that.
Now this is something pretty cool. There's also something called chemical sensitivity, where the patient develops symptoms from exposure to ordinary levels of synthetic chemicals in their common household. Common usage items such as perfumes, pesticides, household cleaning products. So you have to go green, go clean as much as you can.
Now, so yeah, you guys remember that when you become overexposed to electromagnetic radiation, you're going to become super sensitive to a lot of these things.
Yeah, everything.
And, people call us and they talk about they can't even go into the doctor's offices because of the incandescent lights, and they can't even stand next to someone in the elevator because of the perfumes, and certain things are just they're really hypersensitive.
And the computers that emit the RF frequencies,
right,
people's
exactly.
radios, people's cell phones, every little thing they have to think about.
Right. So we're going to wrap this up. Is there anything that we may have forgotten that you want to add in?
Let's see. Not at this point. I can't think of anything right now, but if anyone has any questions, you can email us, post it here.
So for those of you in the scientific community or whatever, who are technical fields and technical backgrounds, under the article of electrohypersensitivity, the truth, if you scroll down on that page, you're going to see tons of references and citations where we have technical papers. Again, we have citations, we have peer-reviewed articles and such.
A lot of information, you guys.
Tons of information. Everybody and their brother-in-law who has a degree, a master's, PhD, authors, scientists, they're writing on this subject, and they're publishing lots of information, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to shed as much light on this as possible, and even get more accomplished as far as coming up with tools and know-how in order to help.
There are people to
suffer.
help. There are people to help. You just have to find them.
Right. So give us a call.
Thank you for viewing.
And we'll take a look at what's our number?
888-344-3742. We have lifetime guarantee and warranty on all our products. We're open 24/7, 365, and we have layaways and rentals available, and also you can purchase any of our items.
Okay, so as we like to say at the conclusion of every session, and we apologize for the technical difficulties, so we broke this into a part 1 and part 2. We'll upload it to YouTube and post it along with the other meetup videos, so that you can review everything that you missed, just in case you didn't get a chance to join us. But yeah, we like to say invite a relative or share this with a relative, an enemy, associate, a friend, anyone. Let's get the word out that there are some solutions and some ways to counter the ill effects of electronic harassment, being a target individual, suffering from electrical hypersensitivity and such, right?
Yes.
So you guys take care, and let's help make the world a safer place, okay?
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.